Guys, welcome to today's video. If you're new to my channel, hello, I am Suzana. Today we're going to be talking about some new makeup that I've been testing out. Most of this is going to be a full face of makeup, but of course I do have some products here that I've been having for a while, been using. You all have probably seen me and heard me talk about these products, but for the most part it is going to be a lot of new makeup that I want to share reviews on with you guys. So it's just going to be like a little mini review that I give you guys while I'm doing my makeup with these products and just really talking about them. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, do let me know in the comments down below. I'll be happy to help. And yeah, that's it. I'm sure through the thumbnail you guys were able to see what products we'll be using, and I'm really excited. I will say that the eye makeup I actually ended up really enjoying. You will see that I don't know what's the word, a little hesitant to use the palette that I ended up using today, but for a few reasons, but you guys will kind of hear about all of that as we get to that point. I do have one of the new Hermes blushes as well as one of their lip enhancers, so I'm very excited to be showing you guys those products. The blush is the only product that I had only used once before, but yeah, like I mentioned, everything else I've been truly testing out. So the feedback that I give you guys, pretty set on my thoughts about that. So yeah, that's all I had to share with you guys before I get into the demo of how I created this look. Please make sure to like my video and hit that subscribe button. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start off with some primer. I've been really enjoying this new one I just purchased from Makeup Forever. It's their Redness Corrector. And I have a lot of redness, so I find that products like this do help kind of minimize that appearance. Though I don't use products like this all that often, but I have been eyeing this. Makeup Forever just recently reformulated their primers, but this one I did not have in the old formula. I will say I love the scent of this. It smells so good. I don't know what like main ingredient that is, but it's not like a fragrance, so I wouldn't think that this would be irritating to the skin. And I'll just apply a little bit of this all over. I've really been liking it, but honestly, I just don't feel like it makes a huge difference with concealing the redness that I do have. I just like the primer for what it is, and I actually have been really liking it with this foundation. I actually ended up picking both of these up at the same time. So since I got them last week, I've been using this combo nonstop, and I've really been enjoying both products. But before I actually go in with the foundation, I do want to use a liquid highlighter, and I've been using this one from Auric. Oops. This is from Samantha Ravindell's new makeup brand, and it's called the Glow Lust Radiant Illuminizer. I have the shade Pyrite, which is a little bit deep for me, but I can make it work. Now this packaging, actually, let me show you guys real quickly in case you all have not seen it. So mine's dirty. But wow, it is so pretty. She did amazing with her packaging. So it's this beautiful glass bottle, very weighty, just all the detail, luxurious. Y'all know I love me some fancy packaging. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pump some of that out. And then with a brush, I'm just gonna apply it pretty much all over the face. I am going to try to, I got a little too close there, avoid this area right here because I do have large pores there and it's not cute to emphasize that. So I'm going to just avoid that area, but everywhere else, I'm going to go ahead and just apply this. Actually, I might need a little bit more. So I can cover more of my face. So this shade is fine, but honestly, I think it's a little bit too dark for me to wear it over foundation. However, I'm not one to wear a lot of liquid foundations, and when I do, I typically like to apply them before my foundations. So really, I think the shade is fine for how I use it. But if I ever get to the point where I do want to layer it over top, then I will need to go ahead and pick up the lighter shade. Honestly, if the lighter shade would have been available when I made my purchase, I would have ordered that one, but this was the only one they had in stock. Now, I was originally not going to get this because I already have liquid luminizers like this, but then I kept hearing how this one doesn't emphasize your pores. It gives a nice, more natural type of glow. So I became more curious and, well, obviously I decided to pick it up myself and try it out. And so far I've really been liking it. So whatever's just left on the brush under the eyes here, just see people doing that all the time. So I'm going to imitate it. I'm actually happy that I got that, and I've been using that one a lot too. Also, actually with this foundation, it's really good because this is a lighter coverage foundation, so it allows a product like this to really pull through and actually make it seem like your skin is naturally glowing. So I'm telling you guys, this combo here that I've been doing, these 3 products actually, have been really nice. Now on with the foundation. This is from Fenty Beauty. It's their newer foundation called the Eaze Drop Blurring Skin Tint. So you can get a light to medium coverage with this. I usually apply quite a bit so I can get closer to that medium coverage. And I go directly into applying it to my face. So like I said, I do apply quite a bit of this. But if you prefer a lighter coverage, you can definitely achieve that. And this foundation wears really nice. I would say the longest I've worn this foundation is about 10 hours. And I think it looks good even at the end of the day. Of course, I get oily anyway. That happens with all of my foundations. So I always have to go in and blot my T-zone if I want to look a little bit more refreshed. But yeah, just overall, this looks really good. It doesn't emphasize any texture, any dryness that I have. Nothing of that sort. So this is how that's looking. I like it. It's very lightweight, really nice. I've been buying a lot of foundations lately, like in the last, maybe about 6 weeks or so. I've accumulated quite a collection, so I need to do a quick foundation roundup video for you guys so I can give you my final thoughts on all of these foundations. So I will provide you with more information on this specific guy when I do that video. All right, so as far as concealer, I don't have anything new, so I'm going to use my Clay de Peau concealer. I use the shade Ocher. I love this concealer. So I'm going to set this concealer very lightly. I'm going to use my Gucci powder. This is a little bit too dark for me, so applying it lightly is key right now. I'm waiting for them to start making the refillables available because I definitely need to get a lighter shade of this. Which is one of the reasons I hardly ever pull this one out. And then you see that glow is pulling through. Everything is looking great. Okay, so I'm trying to debate. I think I should move over to the eyes before I finish off with the face makeup. And so I need to prime my eyes. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to prime real quickly as I think of what I should use for my eyeshadow. Okay, so I have this eyeshadow palette that I have yet to use on my channel. Well, actually, I haven't really been filming lately, so I have a lot that I haven't used on my channel. But this is the Runway palette from Burberry. So I did want to use it today because I have not shown it to you guys, and I had posted a poll on my Instagram asking you guys if you wanted to see this one first before the Byredo Disco palette. These are very similar in tones, and honestly, they're really pretty. I actually really like these eyeshadows. I love their formula. I've only used the Byredo one once because I wanted to continue testing this Runway palette more so that I can give you guys more information on it when I did use it for a video. But I'm a little bit discouraged to actually use this palette because it's sold out already. I don't know if it's even available anywhere here in the US for anybody to purchase right now. And also, this palette I do like. The formula is really pretty. It's very pigmented. It blends easily. Honestly, there are just no complaints with this palette that I have, but I feel the exact same way for this palette as I do towards the Glam palette from Natasha Denona. I was recently talking about that and telling you guys how it's a palette that I really like. It performed just as I expected it would perform. The shadows are pretty, but it's just not a palette that intrigues me. It's not a palette that inspires me. I don't get excited about using it. At the times I have used it, I've kind of forced myself to, which is what I've been doing pretty much all week with this Burberry palette. I have used it over and over and over again. And again, like the eyeshadows perform nicely, but I'm never super wowed with my eye look. Now, I'm not sure if it's because I do try to work with several eyeshadows when I use this, so maybe I'm overdoing it. That could totally be the case. I will go ahead and use some of these right now. Actually, let me show you guys some swatches. They swatch really beautifully. I mean, really just how they perform. I'll just go ahead and use a few shades from here. I'm not sure if maybe I'll pull some other palette out or perhaps a single eyeshadow. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know what I want to do with this. So I'm going to start off actually with, I'm going to mix the two matte shades. All the other shades in here are shimmer, so I'm going to mix these two and use this as a transition. Now, I do really love the mirror in here. The packaging of this is actually very similar to their face palette, if you have that. That Burberry face palette is gorgeous. I have the deeper one of the two, and it's so beautiful. All right, so I'm just applying this here into the crease, adding some depthness there. And then once I've deposited most of the pigment here, I'm gonna start blending upwards. Blends out very nicely. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into this dark brown shimmer shade here. And I'm gonna apply this kind of as a halo eye. And then I'm just going to use the same shadow for the bottom lash line as well. Just using a much smaller brush for this. I don't know, guys. I'm not really into this palette. And forget it. I don't want to keep using that. I don't know why I'm forcing it. Let me find something else to put on and I'll be right back. Okay, so I actually ended up pulling out one of my Victoria Beckham lid lusters. This is the shade Honey. That's how that looks. If you guys want to see a swatch of this. I think this is one of the newer lid lusters that she came out with. So with my finger, I'm going to pick some of this up and just apply it on the center of my lid. I only have two of these lid lusters. My favorite one of the two is Mink. Oh my gosh, that is a gorgeous shade. But I wanted something a little bit brighter. The shimmers, I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but the shimmers are so gorgeous. All right, so I do want a little bit of some black eyeliner. Let's see, what brush should I use for this? Because I want it to be kind of soft, and this is a black gel liner. It's actually one of my favorite products to use for a winged liner. So it's from Bobbi Brown. It's called the Longwear Gel Eyeliner. And I have this one in brown as well as black. But let me use this brush here. So I'm gonna use a really tiny, thin angled brush. So now with this other brush, this is clean. I'm just going to blend this liner. So I just need to highlight the inner corner. So back with this Runway palette and that lighter shade. What is that called? Light Camel. Just hit that inner corner. All right, so now I'm just gonna apply some mascara, and I'm gonna use my new Chanel mascara. It's not a new release, just new to me. This is called the Dimensions Ultimes de Chanel, and this is their tubing mascara. So I had no idea that this existed. I actually found out through Clubhouse on all things luxury beauty. Oh my gosh, I love Clubhouse so much, you guys. And one person had asked if anybody that was there had tried this mascara. We were all shocked because nobody there knew that Chanel had a 2B mascara. So several of us actually went ahead and bought it. And I've got to say, you guys, I think it's such a pretty mascara. Alright, so now let's move on to the rest of the face makeup. This is from Wayne Goss. It's his Radiant Boosting Face Palette. I picked up Satin Bronze, and I really like the tones in here. Let me actually share some swatches for you. So this right here is the bronzer. This here is the contour. The contour is a matte. The bronzer has like a shimmer and it's like a satin finish. Really very pretty. This bronzer reminds me of a lighter version of the Sisley bronzer, in case you guys have that. That is such a wonderful bronzer. And so is this one. So that's the bronzer. And this is the contour. I love the undertone of this. It's a definitely cool tone. It's got that ashiness. Perfect, and what a contour shade should be, and especially for somebody with my skin tone, like this is perfection. However, I don't really like this. I just don't really like this. But one thing I was thinking about as I was doing applying my foundation is that I have not actually used this with a full coverage foundation. So maybe it's because I've really only been testing it out with this here, and maybe that combo isn't all that great. So I'm gonna actually show you guys how it performs on me. I do find that when I first apply it, it looks really good, but after a few hours, if that even, I'm sorry, I'm looking for my brush. Here we go. It just starts to disappear on me. So that's one of the reasons why I don't like this. And sometimes I find that it applies a little bit patchy as well. And I'm mostly talking about the contour here. So let's see if you guys will be able to pick that up. The mirror of this is really nice. I like the packaging as well. My only real complaint about his packaging right now is that everything pretty much looks the same. His eyeshadow palettes, his blush and highlighter duos, and now these. So I just wish there was like something different about it. Anyway, it's really not that big of a deal. So, okay, I'm gonna start off with this. Ooh, like from what I can tell on the viewfinder, this looks really good on camera. In person, you know what? It doesn't look patchy right now actually at all. In person, it doesn't look bad. But honestly, it just does not last on me. So there have been times that I do my makeup and then right before leaving the house, I come back and apply more of this. And by the time I get back home, which, guys, I don't really go anywhere. Like when I do, I'm pretty quick. So I would expect my makeup to still be on and look pretty good when I get home, and it's just gone. Like, I don't know if anybody's having that same issue. Honestly, I haven't watched anybody else's videos on this palette, so I have no idea what other people are experiencing. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I do have an idea because I had posted a poll on my Instagram letting you guys know that I wasn't really feeling this product quite yet. Like, I wasn't quite convinced by it. And I asked you guys what you felt about it, and the majority of you, by a lot, said that you all were more disappointed than happy with this palette. So that was a little bit of a shocker to me. Not to say that this product is not good. It's just, maybe it's the shade. Maybe it's just the shades that don't work for me. But when I swatch them, when I first apply them, I think it looks really good. I love the tones of these, so that's why I don't really want to go with the next one up. But if I have to, like if you guys have tried the next one up and you're about my skin tone, let me know what you think about that one. So contour the nose a little. So now I'm gonna go into the bronzer to warm up a little bit. This bronzer is so pretty. I feel like it's one of those, like, it has a lot of goldness in it. So to me, it's just, wow, that perfect bronzer for a golden bronzed goddess type of look. I don't know. The summer's approaching, so, you know, bronzy looks are all I'm going to be about. I love me a bronzy look. Oh my gosh, I'm so looking forward to that. And actually, that actually just reminded me that I'm so extra excited right now because my husband and I booked our anniversary trip, and that's gonna be so nice. We are going to Hawaii, and I'm like ecstatic about it. So yeah. What I'm not excited about is the fact that I have to go get tested before we leave. And I am so scared of that COVID test. Oh, I'm dreading that. All right, so that's how that's looking. I don't know. Now I feel like it looks sloppy. I mean, it's just not for me. And I guess that's just how it's going to be. I can't love everything from a brand. And so far, I'm not at all impressed with that palette, but I would love to hear from you guys if you have tried it and if you feel differently. Do share with me in the comments down below, or if you agree with me, let me know too. So, okay, so that's that. Now for blush. So I have the new Hourglass Vanish blush sticks, and these I bought 3 of. I actually did a shorts using all 3 of them, swatching them all. And I was gonna use one today, but I think I'm gonna use this instead. Hermes has finally released their blushes. I have been waiting for these. I just picked up once and I've only used this once. It is in the shade Rose Tan number 49. I actually also picked up their lip enhancer. Oh, here we go. Also in the same shade, so I'll probably use this today as well. This blush is beautiful. So that's how that looks, and that's Rose Tan. I am so happy with this blush shade. I originally was going to pick up several, and I'm happy that I stopped myself from it. Not because I don't like this, because I very much do. I think the packaging is gorgeous. But after I placed my order, I realized that they also released refillable pans, and those are much cheaper to buy than if you were to buy it with the actual packaging. So I think the next ones that I do order, I don't know which ones I'm gonna get. They all look so beautiful. I'm going to get them in the refillables and then just place them in an empty palette. So these, just so you guys know, are refillable too. They have the little hole back here. You can stick a pin in there to get the pan to come out. But I've heard so many people already complain about this and how much of a pain it is, because when you put a pin in here, you actually have to push it in with force because they actually glued the pan down to the actual packaging, which means that it's not magnetized. So that kind of sucks. Like, yeah, we're able to do it, but when you get your next one, you will have to glue it in here. So it's not as easily interchangeable as I thought that they would be. Either way, I think I'm just happy with having this one in its little beautiful compact here. I love this packaging. Their emblem is right there. I mean, just gorgeous. They did a phenomenal job with the pigment of this as well. These are very, very pigmented. So let me go ahead and show you guys how it looks on the skin. And it has the same scent as the lipsticks, which I very much enjoy. Okay, so let me actually show you guys a swatch of the lip enhancer. So this is also Rose Tan. The swatches next to each other look quite different. The blush has a little bit of a kind of peachy tone, and you can really tell against the lip enhancer here. But honestly, I'm very happy with both of these shades. Super happy with these lip enhancers. I'm gonna apply it alone like this, but I think I'm gonna go over it with some lip liner just so that it can look a little bit extra. But I do want to show you guys this shade. These are so comfortable. Also the same scent as their other products, and I mean, Hermes just really knocked it out of the park with these lip products. The blushes as well, they've been doing really great. So that's how that looks there. I really like that tint that it adds to my lips. So pretty. It just feels very, very comfortable. But I do want to define my lips a little bit, so I'm going to use this lip liner that I have not used in a while. It's from Chanel. It's in the shade Nude Brun. This combo is so nice too. What's up with me and my combos today? Love that. Okay, I kind of wanted a little bit more dewiness on my skin. If this was the lighter shade that I should have purchased, I would be using that. But since it's a little bit too deep for me, I don't want to cast a shadow where I'm trying to highlight. So instead I'm going to use my Merit highlighting balm. This is in the shade Cava. And this one really does give the cheeks like that dewy appearance. So that's why I want to use this instead of like a regular highlighter. Look at how pretty that is. Just a little bit down here as well. So I'm all done with my makeup. Honestly, I really like all of these products that I mentioned with the exception of this, the Radiant Boosting Face Palette. It just didn't work out for me. Everything else did, and including the Burberry palette. Like, this is nice. It's just not something that really has captivated my attention to like want to keep using and trying, though I have been. It's been so forced. But there is no denying that these eyeshadows are actually nice and they perform really well. So it's just really, you know, preference. I have so much makeup that for me, if it's not something that completely wows me, it just kind of ends up getting lost with other things that I also don't care about. So we'll see. I mean, honestly, I do kind of regret getting this because I don't see myself actually reaching for it all that often. So that's so sad to me, and I hate when that happens. It actually doesn't happen very often, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Again, it's nice. It's not at all that I dislike it. It's not at all that I wouldn't recommend it. It does not inspire me. But everything else, I definitely love. I will though try to use this with another foundation because that could be the case. So if you guys do tell me that you really love that, you know, I just need to then try it differently. It really had not occurred to me earlier that I've only actually been using it with this guy. So yeah, guys, what is going on with my hair here? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Thank you guys for spending some time with me today. Until next time.